Hello, Fearless friends. This is Win Win from Fearless Photographers. I have something special for you today. Let's try something new. So this is not a photo critique. We've seen a lot of photo critiques in the last few weeks, and those are really helpful, and they help us learn how to make photos better. But we're not going to do that today. Today we're going to do something a little bit different, just to see how it goes. So this is the first one. So what are we going to do? So I just want to show you some photos that came across my way in the last few days that I picked out, photos that I think are good wedding photography, that I consider to be good wedding photography. And I'm going to talk a little bit about each one, about why I think they're good and what works for them. And maybe we can enjoy them together. So these photos are from Fearless members all over the world. They're kind of random, different photos, different people, different situations, different kinds of weddings. There's no theme or anything like that. So let's just go through them. So this one, I think it's a good photo because it's a cool angle. It's a close angle that is shot during the ceremony, and the photographer captured good emotion with good faces. And the photographer is is getting down really low, putting the camera low during the ceremony with the whole wedding behind them, behind the photographer, and just trying to get a nice clean photo of the couple with a good emotion. I appreciate how the bride's head is separated from the tent, from the top, and her head is not cut in. Her head is given separation, so that's a good thing. Anyway, it's a good one. This one has a lot of flying stuff on it, and it has a really big face, a lot of enjoyment that we can see, a lot of action in this face. The photographer is really close again to catch this moment. It's well lit, where this woman, I guess she's the bride, is really in the front and lit really well, and everything's a little bit darker in the back, and we can still see what's going on in the back. We can really get a feel for this scene, and it works really well. This photo it works. It works because it's chaotic, but it shows the scene in this room. And so it's not a clean cut simple photo. It has a few things going on, and it has a lot of elements going on, but it kind of works together, and it has action, and it has a little bit of framing through the legs, a front and a back. So it's a good photo to show today. This double hug one is kind of cool because it's not just one hug, it's both the bride and the groom hugging a relative, and the faces and the connection come off really well, and it's cropped tightly, maybe shot tight or looser, but the tight crop really works to show us the face is really big. So for a hug photo, it has two faces and another person, so that's a little bit different, and it makes it a good photo. The photographer, David here, got really close to the action of this, fun game thing during the reception. And you can see a lot of good faces. The black and white really helped the faces come through better. And the darkened background helps, hide anything that we don't want to see to be distracting from the main action of the photo. So we want to see faces really well, and we got that here. And then we have this, this crazy fun thing that the bride and groom are doing. So we get this funness, this sensation of fun coming across. So it's a good job. It's a good photo. It shows what's going on, and it tells the story well. This is, speak of getting close, this is really close. This is a close, almost abstract take on a very common getting ready process. And the photographer chose to do something different and try to make an artistic photo that's not so obvious. I mean, obviously we can tell it's the lips and the hands and it's the makeup, but the photographer is taking a more artistic approach and going away from a normal photo and try to make something out of it. So it's well done. It's close. The reds really jive together. So good job here. The photographer focused on the kids in this dance. That's, you know, it's got a lot of people. It looks fun to shoot, many decisions to make, and the photographer chose to wait for a good reaction from the kid, from the child here, the girl, and nailed it. And nailed a really, really good, fun moment with her. And she's framed by the people surrounding her. It's sort of a nice. The tone is really nice to frame her. Although this photo could be black and white, it probably would too. But we can really see her face with the dark background behind her. Luckily, there's a dark background behind her face that really makes her face stand out. So we really get this photo. I would like to see this in black and white and see how it goes. Same photographer here, two pictures. It's a very simple window light, just to make maybe a quick portrait of the bride, maybe just after getting ready, and she's about to, you know, leave the house to go to the church or something. But it's a very simple portrait of her that we can, you know, this kind of portraiture we can get during the wedding day very quickly. It takes a very simple light just to show her character, her beauty, and her being a bride, and on her wedding day. And it's a very clean, simple black and white portrait. It's a good photo. This one is good, I think, in my opinion, because it focuses on the water, and the water is in focus. The feet is having fun, and we don't need to see the faces all the way up there. So the photographer made the decision to not photograph the faces or crop it out, but still keep the couple's hands kind of touching. So that's a really nice touch. That's a really nice touch, to have the hands back there and the feet kicking up the water just to play around. It's probably a portrait, you know, pose portrait. And the photographer is in the water or really close to the water, right? It's kind of cool. This perspective is cool. So this makes this photo a pretty good photo. Getting close and getting emotion is super important in wedding photography. And Siva did a really good job here, just being close to the emotion of these two people, and then also capturing the faces of those other two people in the back to support this scene. So all the faces of this scene work really well together. Really, really nice, nicely cropped, very clean. I would like to see this one black and white, just to see the emotion come out even more. But the way it is now, the skin tones are very consistent. It works really well. So good job. This one is super artistic. Just an artistic take on a portrait, right? A portrait of a bride. She's got the light on her, so she's kind of glowing over there. Um, and the photographer chose to kind of add this visual element of all the glasses just on this side of the frame, just to be more artistic. And why not? Why we can always make a simple portrait sometimes, and we do. We, as wedding photographers, we do all kinds of stuff, right? We do the simple portrait, and we do the complex portrait, the fun portrait, the artistic portrait, and a good photographer can shoot many different kinds of portraiture. So, and this photographer used she used the glass to make it to keep it on the left side, to compose, to add to the composition, to make this photo really interesting, visually interesting, make it black and white, to keep it simple. So it's a very interesting portrait. So good job. So I guess that's the end of the photos we have for today. Something new. Just want to talk about some good photos. Give some shout out to our fearless members around the world who are making good photos, and I hope to have more of these in the future. So, all right, everyone, stay safe and be well out there.